This is the Quiet Mind Guide for Leaders and Teams, and it's based on the works of Sydney Banks and the Three Principles. And the core concepts of Sydney Banks, well, at the heart of his philosophy are three universal principles that explain how all humans create the psychological reality. Number one principle is mind. Think of the mind as the operating system in your brain. It runs in the background, doesn't need you constantly managing it. And if you stop flooding it with noise, i.e. too much thinking, it can process clearly and efficiently. Problems often seem stuck, not because there's no solution, but because the system is overloaded. The second principle is consciousness. And this is our moment-to-moment awareness. It's what allows you to notice your thoughts, your environment, and how you're feeling. Your level of consciousness affects how you interpret and respond to what's happening. At a higher level, calm, clear-minded, you see problems more objectively and respond with perspective. At a lower level, stress-reactive, the same issue can feel, well, overwhelming or personal. And the third principle is thought. Thought's the internal process that turns external events into our personal experience. You don't experience the project delay or the email or the meeting directly. You experience it and you're thinking about it. So here's some key principles for leadership and team performance. Number one, clarity comes from a quiet mind. Leaders often believe they need to think harder to solve complex issues, but the most powerful insights arise from mental clarity, not pressure. So how to apply that? Well, create quiet moments at the start of your meetings. Normalise silence and reflection. Don't rush into problem-solving mode. Encourage breaks before difficult conversations to reset thinking. Don't pile on more. The second one is state of mind, how that affects everything. The leader's mood, tone and mindset set the tone for the whole team. So how do we apply this? We'll begin every day with a check-in on your own state before jumping into action. Share awareness with your team. Notice when tension is rising and pause. Build awareness into your one-to-ones. Where's your head today? Becomes a meaningful question. And the third one is you're living in the feeling of your thinking. So stress, frustration, even burnout, these are often not caused directly by external events, but by the thinking we attach to those events. So how do you apply this? Well, teach your team that a bad mood doesn't need fixing. It just means unhelpful thinking in the present. And don't overanalyse every emotion. Recognise that thoughts pass if you don't cling on to them. And use language like, let's give this space and come back with fresh thinking. The fourth one, innate wisdom and common sense exists in everyone. Banks believe that every person has access to wisdom. You don't need to micromanage or fix people. Just create the right conditions. So how to apply this? And stop over direct and ask, what do you see from where you are? And conflict ask, what makes sense to you here? Rather than why did you do that? Create space for people to hear their own thinking, not just yours. Number 5 is how problems look different at a different level of mind. A problem seen in panic looks different when it's seen in calm. And how do you apply that? Well, in the moments of team tension, try saying something like, let's not solve this now, let's come back when we're clearer. That might be a minute, 2 minutes, might be a week. Build reflection time into workflows. Example, post-decision reflection after, say, 12, 24 hours. And use zoom-out questions. How would this look if you were calm and curious? And here are some practical tools for teams. First one, situation practice. High-stress project meeting. Start with a moment of stillness or breath. You'll lead from clarity, not reaction. Team drama, conflict. Pause, ask, what are we assuming here? Thoughts, not truth, it's just perspective. Performance issues, ask, what do you know deep down about what's going on? Trust their innate wisdom. Overthinking or analysis paralysis, say, it's okay not to know yet. Let's allow insight to come. Insight arises in quiet, not in pressure. Low morale, focus on creating safety and presence, not fixing everything. Humans return to well-being if space is held. And here's some language you can use as a leader. Let's not rush this. Fresh thought comes when we give it space. We don't need to have the answer now. Insight will show up. What do you hear in yourself when we pause? You're not broken. This is just a lot of thinking. And some leadership behaviours to cultivate. First one would be presence. Be fully in the room, not just solving or fixing. Second is listening for insight. Listen beyond the words for what someone already knows. And grounding yourself first, your energy shapes a team's energy. And encouraging reflection, help people look within, not just outward. Creating psychological space gives permission for people to reset, think, and recalibrate. I want to end this session with specific guidance for project leaders. So here are the 3 principles for project leaders and why they matter. The first on mind, consciousness and thought apply to project delivery and engineering leadership. Let's start with mind, the engine behind insight and clarity. As we've said earlier, mind refers to the deeper built-in capacity for clear thinking, insight and problem solving that we all have. It's like our operating system for the brain. It's always running, but often overloaded by too much input. So why does mind particularly matter in projects? Well, when your mind is clear, not cluttered with noise or urgency, you're far more likely to spot patterns, see root causes, and generate fresh ideas. You lead better under pressure when you trust that your system can reset instead of forcing solutions from a stressed state. Second is consciousness, your awareness and action. So what is consciousness? It's your moment-to-moment awareness. It determines how you clearly you perceive what's happening around you and how you respond. Again, why does it matter in projects? When you're aware that your perception changes with your state of mind, you make fewer knee-jerk decisions. You're more likely to stay rational during client pressure, lead calmly through uncertainty, and avoid escalating tension within your team. And the third was thought, how you process and interpret what happens. Thought's how your brain processes and interprets events. You don't feel the meeting or the delay directly, you feel you're thinking about it. That's why 2 people can react so differently to the same situation. So again, why does this matter in projects? Well, understanding that your reactions come from your own thinking, not the situation itself, gives you choice. You don't need to follow every stressful thought. This helps reduce overreaction, control emotional responses, and improve decision making, especially under pressure. Thanks for listening.